and Detroit's first news team.
Good evening, everyone. Our top story tonight, the city of Detroit has gotten a big shot in the arm in its battle against crime. More than 100 recalled officers reported on the job today for the first time in almost 6 years. They are the final group out of more than 850 officers ordered to be rehired by a federal judge. With today's recalls, the Detroit Police Department will have 4,400 officers on the street by the end of next month. The department also intends to hire new officers so that its street strength will hit 5,000 by the end of June of next year. Channel 7's Tim Fritz has more on today's recalls.
This is the fourth and final of the recall training sessions. It'll be about 11 weeks before this latest group of recalled police officers actually hit the streets. After that, Mary Young and Chief Hart are hopeful of hiring some brand new police recruits, but so far there was no definitive word on exactly when that'll happen. In downtown Detroit, Tim Fritz, Channel 7 Action News, reporting.
An autopsy is being conducted on an Inkster man to determine if his death late last night was the result of the Legionnaire's disease bacterium that was attacking his system. Channel 7's Bill Proctor has the latest on the deadly disease, which tonight also has another woman barely clinging to life.
The Baker family will gather here at the Little White House on Walnut Street in Inkster. They will make funeral arrangements for Joseph, and they will pray that other people affected by the Legionnaire's bacteria will have the strength to recover. From Inkster, Bill Proctor, Channel 7 Action News.
Tonight, President Reagan takes his case for tax reform to the American people. You can see his speech on Channel 7 beginning at 8 o'clock. The White House has not confirmed any details yet, but the Reagan plan is expected to cut taxes for individuals by about 5%. For corporations, it's expected to mean a tax hike of 20%. Some economists say in the end, the tax hike for big business inevitably winds up hurting the workers, the consumers, the small investors. More on the story from Channel 7's Guy Gordon.
If the tax reform initiative is successful, many of the forms will be obsolete in this IRS office. But that won't come about without a lot of debate and certainly a lot of opposition from big business lobbies. The haggling should start sometime after the president finishes his speech this evening. Nobody said tax simplification was going to be easy. From Detroit, I'm Guy Gordon, Channel 7 Action News reporting.
New efforts are underway tonight to keep dangerous drivers off Michigan highways.
But it isn't just the highways that can be dangerous. We'll have a live report on another deadly travel hazard when 7's Action News at 6 continues in just a minute. Well, Dana, you know, drunk drivers don't always cause their destruction on the roadways. At least 8% of the 384 accidents on Michigan's waterways last year were caused by boaters who simply were drinking too much. Well, tonight, Channel 7's Mary Conway is in St. Clair Shores and has more on this story in a live report for us. Mary?
Thank you, Rich. It's much harder for marine officers to catch drinking boaters than it is to catch drinking drivers by regular officers, mainly because it's legal to have alcohol on boats. It's also much harder to spot drunk boaters, but there are certain things that marine officers look for.
You know, nobody knows for sure just what causes cancer, but there is growing evidence that what we eat may have something to do with it. In a special close-up report all this week, our science editor, Jerry Hodak, takes a look at this connection between diet and cancer. And tonight is part one of that report, Jerry. I know we're looking forward to this.
Yeah, Rich, there have been hundreds of studies and reports connecting food with cancer, of course. You've heard many of them. Often the results are confusing or conflicting or both. Some studies, for example, suggest coffee and saccharin cause cancer. Others say there is no connection. But there are some foods over which there is no disagreement, and those are the ones we'll examine in our close-up reports tonight and tomorrow night.
Blame them for not wanting to talk about it.
Wouldn't you know that the day after the holiday we get great weather? This doesn't make sense.
Months ago we could have said, you know what's going to happen on Memorial Day? It's just going to rain and rain and rain, and the day after Memorial Day is going to be
all go back to work.
I mean, it's predictable, right?
Why didn't you say it then?
Well, I said there was a chance of rain on Memorial Day.
It sure was.
Yeah, we didn't want to wipe out things late last Friday and just tell you there was going to be a washout. We did get some sunshine yesterday, but an awful lot of rain, too. In fact, our heaviest rainfall in over a year around here, all coming on the holiday. And then today, here we go with some terrific weather. 67 our high, 50 degrees our low, and, of course, no rain today.
Plans are underway tonight to protect Michigan's most precious resource by using computers. Our many waterways are threatened by everything from pollution to even theft. Channel 7's Jim Herrington reports the Blanchard administration is turning to high tech to safeguard our water supply.
Granted, if you live in Monroe County along the Lake Erie shoreline, it would be nice to know when the water's going to be high enough to float your living room sofa. Ditto if Harson's Island or the shores of Lake St. Clair are home. Nice, too, if the Department of Natural Resources could immediately pinpoint a Detroit River pollution source or a diversion of Lake Michigan water. Can do, says the DNR. Just give us the right equipment. DNR Director Ron Skoog, joined by Governor Blanchard and Attorney General Frank Kelly, proposed that some of the money collected from Berlin feral polluters go for the computer system necessary. DNR technicians put their Michigan Resource Information System computer through its paces today to demonstrate as they trace the course of sediment in the St. Clair Flats and followed pollutants in the groundwater system near Battle Creek City Wells. This system, they say, has dozens of uses, from land pollution cases to picking pipeline routes to tracking Michigan's moose herd. No reason, they argue, why a Great Lakes data center couldn't be established using a similar computer. Just $750,000 to start up the system, said the governor, as he and the Attorney General waxed eloquent over the potential.
What we have is the largest body of fresh water in the United States to do this for, plus the longest shoreline, some 3,200 miles in the United States, in which we have to plan for. When we get the entire Great Lakes system in, we will be able to develop models and predict if the water level is at such and such a height, these areas will be flooded. If the water is withdrawn or diverted, these are the areas that will become dry.
Legislative approval of the governor's proposal, since it doesn't require any new tax dollars, is considered likely. From Lansing, Jim Herrington, Channel 7 Action News reporting.
TV commercials, those 30-second and 1-minute ads you see every day, are a big part of Detroit's film industry. Tonight, in part 2 of her close-up report, Hollywood Detroit Style, Channel 7's Robbie Timmons gives us an inside look at Detroit-made television messages.
Well, commercials made in Detroit are seen by millions of people across the country every day. The ads pitch everything from soap to spark plugs, and as you are about to learn, a tremendous amount of work goes into each one.
You're watching Channel 7 6 o'clock Action News with Doris Biscoe and Rich Fisher, Detroit's source for up-to-the-minute local news. Still to come, Jay Berry with the inside story on sports.
Well, that time of the year in the NBA when there are some coaching changes, and tonight there is some speculation about the Pistons' Chuck Daly. What's this all about?
Well, Chuck Daly is not talking because, frankly, there's not a whole lot to say at this point. But I don't have to tell you how it feels to be appreciated and wanted. He's sitting in the catbird seat. Good evening, everybody.